Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my nightmare.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Let me play with this, Daddy.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Fear Freaks Podcast. My name's Braden.
I'm Destiny.
And we are the Fear Freaks. And tonight we are joined by a very special guest, Misael Barrientos. He is one of my good childhood friends, movie lover. You guys just saw him. If you guys watched the Spider-Man podcast, he was on a few weeks ago talking about John Wick. And tonight he is joining Destiny and I as we discuss Evil Dead Rise, the newest Evil Dead film currently in theaters. How you guys doing tonight?
Excited.
I'm so sorry I made everybody late.
You know what? Honestly, I'm going to take the blame for that. I had a last minute thing that I had to do. So, that is why we were late. Destiny, hey, listen, Misael, you don't
I was
gotta
on
be sorry.
time. I was completely not at fault for anything.
You never have to be sorry, Missile, because listen to me. Of everyone who's always late on the show, the audience knows it. It's always me. It's always me.
When you left, the talk that you gave me was like terrifying. So I threatened
him.
She did in very specific detail too. Like I don't even know how she has that information.
Des, what did I tell you about scaring our audience members or our guests away? This is why we haven't had a guest since last year. Each time we've had a guest, she's scared them off. Like, what did I tell you about that?
Well, they shouldn't be late.
Exactly. Well, and also, if you can't handle, a little bit of, scariness, then get out of here.
That is true. How are you going to survive the show? Look at that. Misael's still around, so Misael, it was a test. She puts you through these tests, and clearly,
maybe 5 minutes left.
Clearly, you are worthy of making it. But what's going on, chat? How you guys all doing tonight? Looks like we got some fun and exciting people in here. It's ready to talk about some deadites and everything. Looks like Brettman, he is going to be taking a little bit of a break tonight. But thanks for stopping by, Brettman. Really do appreciate that. And Tanis, what's going on? He is also taking a little bit of an absence tonight due to not seeing Evil Dead Rise yet. Lamontre, what's going on? Ashton, how you doing? We got Aaron in here. He also hasn't seen the movie. We've got Mike Johnson saying he loves Evil Dead Rise. We've got Maddie, what's going on? How's it going? Also not sticking around. What in the world? What's happening? No, but it's okay. When you guys do see it, you guys get a chance to come back, watch the replay. If you guys don't want to watch the video, it'll be available tomorrow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so that you guys can listen to it there. And then, Ashton, Aaron. Okay, cool. People that I have already said hi to tonight. So first things first, that I want to cover tonight. I do have my Patreon card updated here, so I am able to officially thank you guys properly this time. Last time I didn't. Thank you guys to the awesome patrons of the channel. You guys definitely help support and make the content better and better by showing your support and everything. If you guys are looking to becoming a Patreon, you guys can do so today at patreon.com/Braden Timmons. And then we have a quick announcement. Next Saturday, May 6th, Destiny and I are going to be doing the Scream 6 drink along. We have, honestly, it just occurred to me, we have not done a drink along since Scream 5. We have not. So it's just, it works. It's going to be fun. We are going to have the rules in the beginning of the stream and everything like that. I'm going to have a whole card. I'm going to play this a little bit differently. So for every drink along from here on out that we do, there will be a drink rule card that we place in the beginning of the stream so you guys can follow along and drink along and all that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very much looking forward to that. Destiny, pick your drink wisely for next Saturday night, okay? So
I'm actually scared. Last time went really bad for me, so
Honestly, and
Hopefully
the
this time
Scream one, the Scream one was worse for you than the Halloween Kills one. Oddly enough, I don't know how that. But I was actually Misa and like, weren't we talking a little bit about that? I
I
think it's
thought you
because
guys took a drink every time they said "Evil dies tonight."
It
in
was that every time like 40 years ago was mentioned, obviously every time someone dies. So it was stuff like that. So there were more than just like one rule set in place, but like with Scream, because they reference so many movies back to back, you're like drinking every movie mentioned. That's like that happens really fast, a lot faster than you probably really realize until you have to drink for it. So I think that's why I just got drunker faster, and that's what really messed me up.
I think that you actually ate before Halloween Kills though too. For Scream, I don't think you ate anything. I think that's what
Oh
you
I
had
ate
man!
said.
chips and then I threw them up.
Oh
Yeah,
man!
there it is. Misael, actually, that was the night right after that you guys came over and we went downtown Naperville. And I remember she woke up at like 2 a.m. and I sent her a picture of all of us at the bar, and she was just
out.
waking up.
Out.
Yeah. So that was definitely a lot of fun, and we're gonna have some fun next Saturday. So everybody, be here next Saturday night. Do not miss it. It's gonna be great. So, but fuck. Now that that's all out of the way, let's start chatting about Evil Dead Rise. So, first things first, I just want to open the floor for general discussion. What did you guys think about Evil Dead Rise? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? You guys kind of find it all right? What do you guys think? Misael, you're the guest here. Go on and go first, buddy.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess so. I liked it a lot. It was a little unexpected for me. Not what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be. I didn't know it was gonna be as creepy as it ended up being, which really surprised me, and also kind of bummed me out because I was supposed to see this on Friday, and then like there was a whole situation that just screwed that all up. So I saw it Monday. I was the only one in my theater, which was fun, but also like I do wish I experienced this with the crowd because it seems like that kind of movie where like it just enhances it. So I don't know if I doubt. Did you guys see it opening weekend or no?
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to see it on Thursday like I normally would. I saw it Friday night.
You saw it Friday night. Was your theater packed or no?
It wasn't super crowded. Had some people in it that was like reacting to certain things. So I mean, it had a decent audience size.
Yeah, man. I wish like, especially when you always hear about like people like screenings and stuff like that, like people like going crazy. I wish I had experienced that, but I still really like the movie. All the same.
All right. I felt a tad bit disappointed, honestly, but I still did like, I would say I loved it still. I gave it a 4 out of 5, but really I would probably get like a 3.75, but I don't want to get like too specific with it. But I just felt like a little underwhelmed because like 2013 really like set the bar, I think, for like what an Evil Dead movie can do. And they showed parts in the trailer that I thought were going to be more impactful, and they weren't. Yes. And that was so disappointing.
Yes.
And if these scenes were a little better, maybe I wouldn't have felt so disappointed. But I just think it could have pushed it a little bit further. And if it would have done so, I would have enjoyed it more because I liked everything else. It could have went further, I think.
I was definitely going to talk about that, but yeah, you nailed a lot right there that I was thinking.
Yeah, I think that I mean, I very much enjoyed this movie. This honestly was a pretty damn big surprise for me because like I'm not the biggest, and I've said this on the channel before, I'm like not like the oh my god, a new Evil Dead movie's coming. Like, I mean, I'm not like that at all. So, you know, like I was excited for this movie, but like I was like, you know what? Like this is going to just be something like I didn't really watch too much of the marketing. So I went into this movie really completely open-minded. I'd seen the one trailer didn't even watch it numerous times. And literally every single time I would talk to like one of my horror fan friends, or like Destiny would go see a movie and she would be like, did you get the Evil Dead trailer? And I'm like, no, even though I was in a horror movie. I was in a movie where this should be playing. I never got the trailer. So I didn't really have a chance too much to see it. I think there was only one time I saw a movie where I actually got it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Was it John Wick 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
Wow,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Got the trailer for we got the trailer for John Wick 4, and we didn't freaking get it for
and that's the only time you've experienced that trailer in the theater.
In the theater. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually really surprising.
Oddly enough, right?
I know, I remember it came on and I immediately told Gail, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And then Blair looks at me after he goes, that looks fucking stupid. I was like, pfft. Blair was just a hater that night, dude. He was in he was in a mood that night. So, but no, I thought that this movie was actually great. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I very much liked it. I thought that in terms of gore and violence, while it was impressive, I liked a lot of the effects that was done throughout the movie. Evil Dead 2013 still takes the cake as the most violent Evil Dead movie. So, you know, I think that I did like this story more, though. I liked this story more than 2013's, but Evil Dead 2013 still takes the violence level and kind of ups it over this one. But I still thought that the effects and everything, like, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, Des, like the effects, and Misael, I saw your face as well. Like in the trailer, they showed this cheese grater scene, right? And it's like, then I saw people on TikTok saying stuff like, you know, oh, I thought that I can do horror movies, and then I saw the cheese grater scene in Evil Dead, and it really got me. And I was just kind of like, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be crazy. This fucking scene comes. Huh?
So okay, so thank you. Now you guys make me feel not crazy. Like, do you guys wish it kind of went a little harder than it did?
I wish she was missing a chunk of her leg. One little scratch and it gets done to the side. I was like, are you fucking serious? Because listen, the hashtag for this movie next to it, like the little emoji, cheese grater. There's a shirt with a cheese grater on it. So they did make it seem like this is going to be huge. And there's other effects that I found way more effective than the cheese grater. But you have this like opportunity to do something cool that we don't see that often. And like you barely go for it. That was really disappointing. Because I agree. I remember watching the trailer that first day. And like I was like, okay, this is cool. This looks good. All right. And it got to that scene. And I paused it and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so crazy. And then it wasn't. So yeah, that part really upset me.
I kind of felt like that for the movie as a whole. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I still liked it, don't get me wrong, but I do wish it went a little bit harder. And at first I thought I was kind of insane for thinking that. But
no, I'm trying to think of like moments that like made me like, you know, like really like have it like, I don't know, because 2013, I talked about it, like that movie literally made me throw up watching it. And like that hasn't happened that often with movies, but that one did. And so I went into this movie wanting that reaction. Of course, I want to puke. Theater, but I was like, I want to like be gagging. I want to like be like, oh my God, like I can't look. And there's nothing like that. I would say the closest it got to that was like the scene with Bridget and the glasses like sticking out of her throat. Like that was good.
That sucked. That was like
and like the nose part was cool with the scissors because it's like, oh my God, like all the way up there, that would suck so much. But there really wasn't anything that made me like have like a full body reaction. And like that's what I really, really wanted from this movie.
I mean, I thought that while all those are really cool, I think that one thing that's not getting talked about enough in this movie is the fucking girl that gets her scalpel fucking ripped off her damn head, literally right off the bat. Like, I mean, that fucking scene, like, literally just clear off. I was like, And that's the first thing that we see.
Yeah,
like, first violent thing that we see.
When it first happened and it cut away, I was like a little like, and I don't mean to sound insane, but I was a little like, oh, okay, it just happened and then that's it. But then she walks out, and you just see her looking like a victim in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. No, like, honestly, oh, wow. Honestly. So, okay, yeah, let's start cracking this thing open. So obviously now I don't know if like I know Des and I were texting a little bit after we saw this movie, and we were talking a little bit about the camera work in the very beginning. Like, you know, at first I had thought that this evil had like a sound effect to it in this one. You know what I mean? Like as soon as the camera opens it and you hear the zzz, but and then you find out that it's just a drone. This guy is flying this drone. So I was like, okay, that's an interesting update. You know, like I was like, that's pretty interesting. I don't remember it. Like I remember it going, but having like that buzz sound, I was like, interesting. You know, this can be it was going to be new for me. And then the whole opening is pretty much bringing us back to classic Evil Dead. Like there's like they're at a secluded cabin and all that stuff. It felt like very much like we're used to. And one of my biggest critiques with this movie, and I'll say this right away, is that this piece of the story doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the, you know, with the main narrative. So I think that
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear my dog snoring?
I could definitely hear it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Honestly, I swear to God, at first I was like, who has a fucking frog in the room right now? Like
he's tired. Okay, I'm gonna.
It sounds like a frog. Like,
I'm sorry.
It's all good. He's
Bruce. He just wanted to get on my lap, and then he kept going, but you guys never reacted to it, so I was like, okay, I think I'm fine.
I was wondering what you were laughing at, so I thought that you were like reading like a comment or something like that. That was like, you know, funny.
No, I was laughing.
Or I thought like I'm sitting here, and I thought then that Des was making a face or something that was like, you know, like, and that you were trying to hold in.
No, I was laughing because you were talking about the sound, and as soon as you mentioned the sound, he lets one out.
Oh.
No, I was like, yeah, like that.
No, no, it's all good. I was just, as long as I knew what it was, because at first I'm like, I'm hearing this, I thought that it was like, yeah, he's adorable. He's so cute.
I'm going to kick, but you guys go ahead. I'm gonna kick him out so that.
No, yeah, it's all good. But the main narrative, I thought, didn't have anything to do with the opening and or really the closing scene. I do feel like that the opening scene was simply there to give us that fucking epic title reveal.
Okay, yeah, it does. But also, if they wanted to, they could make a movie starting off from that point, because that is open, you know. In this story going on right now, there is a deadite out there just floating above the water. So
it's got to be why they had it like that, right? It's got to be like a plan with that whole scene, I imagine.
But the title card, yeah, of course, is absolutely fucking amazing.
So good.
Yeah. Title card, like
from the trailer, I was excited to see the part where she's like floating or like hovering, because you do see a little bit of that, and I was so excited and to see it used a part of the title card and the way that it just rises above everything. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like I don't like, while that's a criticism, I bypassed the critiques because of how epic that title card was. Now, if it did that and then like, you know, gave us like the fade to black and then the evildeadrise, then points obviously go back down. But because like literally the title was rising behind the woods and stuff like that, like during that, epic, totally awesome. And I was just a big fan of that. So best title card I think I've seen in horror maybe ever.
I agree.
I tweeted that, and I said that I also think that I was really thinking hard about it too. I'm like, yeah, I think that actually might do it in terms of horror. Not best horror, not best opening in horror, but best title card reveal. I think that's that's gonna be there. So
it's tied with Insidious for me, like, because that one's pretty good too.
Insidious does have a pretty good title card,
Mhm.
mostly because of that fucking score that goes along.
That's exactly what it is.
So yeah, Des, anything to say about that?
Yeah, I like the opening. I like that we got like a good callback to our original Evil Dead, like you said, with like the cabin setting. Also, a part that I thought was absolutely awesome is the way they did, instead of, from the original, she has her reading off the cards and then she like turns and has a reveal. This time she's reading the book and her friend starts repeating the book, what she's currently reading.
That was awesome.
I thought that was a great way of like taking something we've seen, but then, updating it a little bit so it's not exactly the same. And this I feel like makes more sense. So I thought that was really cool. The gore in the opening is good. The title card's amazing. And like you said, the whole opening, I also thought it was opening with us already kind of in the POV of the Deadite, really, and it was just a drone. I thought that was so cool because it was a good little fake out. So I really enjoyed the opening. I thought it kind of set up, what kind of level I guess we would be on in terms of gore. So I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I thought looks like we all thought that the title card was great, and looks like we all semi kind of liked the opening. But I liked the main narrative obviously a lot more. And then after that title card, we catch up with Beth, who is our main heroine that we follow throughout the course of this movie. She's in a bathroom. We don't really know too much about her. Which is one thing that I do like. The dialogue is in the spots where it needs to be. Other than that, we're seeing just emotions and the way characters are reacting to certain situations, which I always love, because I hate more than fucking anything in a movie where the audience is just fucking spoon-fed. They don't know, they can't piece together what the hell's going on. Where Lee Cronin, I feel like he actually does a good job here, even with his direction and his writing, because he wrote the script as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that he did a good job at showcasing, the right amount of emotion to what we need to actually hear from the characters. So, but Beth, she is returning home to her sister's house, and we are catching up with her and her nieces and nephew, and everything like that. So that's pretty much where the main story takes place. And I'm not gonna lie, you would think that because this movie is so family oriented, that it wouldn't be as fucking brutal as it is. Boy, are you wrong. I'm not gonna lie. At first I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, they're creating the body count now, as the neighbors started getting involved, because I'm looking around at first and I'm just like, where the fuck is this body count gonna be? I'm like, not all of them are gonna fucking survive, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is this body count gonna consist of? And then the neighbors start getting introduced and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, there they are.
Yeah.
There they are. There's the body count.
When you just know.
And then, hey, yo, and then shit actually starts to hit the fan, and I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, Danny, it's Danny, right? That's the guy, that's the kid's name, the boy's name. Yeah, he finds there's an earthquake that happens, and then there's a hole in the ground, and there's all of this shit down there, and there's a few vinyls, and then there's the book, right? Classic Evil Dead. So obviously someone plays it, the words are said or the reading is said, and then boom, they're their mom is the one that gets the curse, and that leads into the main piece of the movie. So yeah, now that I'm caught up to here, what do you guys have to say about anything that I've said in these last couple of minutes?
You go for it. Oh shit.
I like that the way they set it up, us getting introduced with Beth. She's taking a pregnancy test. She's going back over, and we don't know for sure, but you do know, obviously. And it goes along with, the whole title of, or the, what's it called on the poster?
The tagline?
Yes. It's Mommy loves you or something like that.
Something like that.
And so there's Steph Lynn's like, oh, okay, like, so you know what's going on, and you know she gets caught up, like the dad is gone, so it's just the mom. They're also tearing down the building, so that's another issue, and that's why it looks so. I thought going into this, I know I talked about Demons 2 because Demons 2 is basically this movie because it's set in High Rise apartment, and you have these demons which are pretty much deadites, and so when I heard about this, I was like, oh, it's going to be like Demons 2, but in Demons 2, this is a full apartment, and there's like a party with like 30 people in one of these apartments, so there's a lot of people. I was expecting more people, and then whenever they find out it's like being torn down, you get to see this building. It's like, oh man, this is not going to be as populated as I thought it was going to be, and I kind of wish there was more too, just because that would be more gore and like more like action sequences. But with what they gave us, I thought was like good enough. I kind of like the like aesthetic of the building. It looks really run down and like grungy, and it looks like nasty, and it's so dark in there. So I did really like that. But I like the way they did the story. I thought we could have found I think they could have used a little bit more character development. We know stuff about them and whatnot, but not like too much. And I feel like we could have dove in more with the kids. Really, I feel like we're fine with the mom and the sister. I think the kids could have had like a little bit more development before we just like jumped right into everything, because this movie moves fast. Because really, once stuff starts, it doesn't stop, and then the movie's over. But I like the way it's all set up and everything. I like the way the apartment looks. I love you get to like know the dynamic between like the mom and the kid. She seems like such a fun mom. She has like a tattoo gun. She's dyeing her hair like this bright red color, and she's like has tattoos all over her arms and stuff. So she looks so cool, and obviously it sucks whenever
it does, right? Like yeah, like you're almost like, I kind of don't want her to get possessed.
No, and she does a great job when she is.
Oh my god, yeah.
But it's like, no, you really don't want her to. It does really suck whenever it happens.
Yeah, but yeah, you also get the feeling. I thought it was gonna go the route of like a broken family, like nobody gets along, they're all yelling at each other, but they do have like a good like I guess camaraderie is what it is, and you could tell she is a good mom. It's funny you said the Demons 2 thing. I was thinking, I know Braden, I don't know Braden if you caught this, but I was like, oh my god, this is the fucking apartment building from the Raid.
Like, oh yeah, honestly, yeah,
it's just like it.
It actually does. I'm not gonna lie. And hey, yo, the poster I just retweeted on Twitter today. It's the chainsaw with the apartment building and stuff like in it. Badass fucking poster. But I'm not gonna lie, it definitely kind of looks like it could be like a Raid poster. Like if you put that,
bring the whole cast in. I'm fine with it.
No, I definitely see what you mean, but. Misael, right before you continue with any of your thoughts, I just want to really pinpoint, otherwise I know I'll forget because it's on my mind, but the color in this movie, I think that this is the most gorgeous looking Evil Dead movie that we have, and I really like the use of the different color blends that we see. Like we get some red, we get some of the blues, we get, in like the hallway, like the dim lighting and everything. I just love the overall feel of every single scene. The kitchen scene, it's kind of got like it really just feels like a kitchen light is like really illuminating on everything that's going on. Obviously, like there's more going on to make it look like that, like with background stuff, but it's the overall aesthetic of the look of the scene, and I think that it looks great. So I do think that this is probably the best looking Evil Dead movie that we have to date. So great job to the lighting techs and the cinematographer for putting that together, because that's some good stuff.
I agree, and it manages to look like that, but also have that grimy feel. I know the 2013 Evil Dead is like the grimiest of all of them. Like it's that movie's like dirty. But I agree. Like it looks great. I think from the technical point, I think the sound design is like the highlight, especially when what we're talking about when they start playing the records, and it just starts like, I don't know, like you guys, but my theater, maybe it was just because I was by myself, so that kind of enhanced it. But that thing was thumbing, and I was like in my chair, like, fuck.
Yeah, like, and then when frickin' Ellie is a deadite, and she's like on the wall, and her scream, like the screeches and everything, like as everything is just kind of illuminating. Shit was loud as fuck.
That's how I got my haircut. It wasn't even like it's just the second she starts screaming,
it blew Misael's hair right off.
Right the fuck off. And you know, another thing that I want to give this movie credit for is like taking a story like Evil Dead and something we've almost always seen out in the woods and stuff, but then it like takes those moments from those movies and then finds a way to fit it in with this movie without it feeling so like, oh, like, okay. It makes it feel like natural in the way they're able to alter like certain things. Like, so when Ellie does become, you know, like a deadite, instead of it being like tree vines, they use like the wiring that's from the elevator to
cool.
tie her up and hold her back. And that's so cool. And the other night when I was on Josh's stream also talking about this, they pointed out how the scene with Ellie when she's like peeking over the bathtub, that's sort of like your basement scene when she's looking and peeking through there. And even like the stairwell, like that's your bridge from the original in the second movie. So it takes all these like moments that have happened throughout the franchise and it still keeps it classic Evil Dead, but just fitting it into an apartment building, which I think is so cool. Because there's stuff that like even like I'm still like, oh shit, that was like an Easter egg for the other movies that I didn't even realize. Someone pointed that like Ellie's tattoos were like vines all up and down her arms, which like you could tell they're like swirly, but they're vines. Like that's such a cool little detail.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
So it's like all these small details that they incorporated and everything. I think it's so cool, and the way that they're able to adapt it to the apartment setting worked out so much better than I thought it would originally. Because originally I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like whenever we first sort of, it's going to be about two sisters in this high-rise apartment and, you know, they're breaking loose. And then seeing what movie that we actually got, it was still, although disappointing from the trailer, from originally, you know, I was just like, whoa, this is a lot better than I thought, but still disappointing. But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, and this is when Ellie, as a deadite, gets locked out of the apartment. I love the camera work with the peephole stuff. It is so good. The fucking scene where the whole kill sequence just in the hallway, like as everyone,
dude, it's fucking funny.
Dude,
like
it is.
I was like, it's so just like outrageous.
I chuckled so hard when Ellie is like going fucking crazy. I forgot. Who was what was it? I think his name was Gabriel. The guy. I don't know. One of the neighbors was going, the guy that got his eye taken out was going crazy on him, and all of a sudden she just gets blasted by a shotgun and you just see her body fly. Like I was like, hey yo, what? So I chuckled hard at that one.
Yeah, and then the eyeball pops out into the younger kid's mouth.
Oh my god, I was cackling. Like
that is good. That's some like Evil Dead 2 type shit.
Yes,
like, that's some like over the top like silly stuff, which I appreciated in this movie. That was a lot of fun. I do, and also like you're saying about the people scene. I love when all this chaos is happening, but we're standing still. I think it's so cool just to sit still and have everyone else do the work rather than you sit there and follow them with the camera. Because there's something, I don't know, just like sitting and then just like, because it really feels like that is you. That is you literally watching this through people, and you're just standing here watching it all happen. And then, of course, when the blood gets on it, too, it's just an added effect. And we get the moment from the trailer with her smiling while talking to the daughter, that creepy-ass smile. That's my favorite part of the trailer.
Yeah, when she gets closer and closer to the people, it's like, oh, my God. Like, they did. Like, she looks so good. I couldn't get over it. Like especially her eyes, like I don't know if it was contacts or they did something else, but
no, that's
like,
her real eyes. She can do that.
That is honestly no, you're fucking lying. Shut the hell up. I am about to agree to that too. I was about to be like, oh shit, no shit. That's crazy.
She like blinks like 3 times in a row. They turn like that
does her
white
own
screen color. Exactly. It's like those scars garden it.
We go. Well, I know that we're on where she's like out of the apartment now. I do just want to do a quick rewind and say that we didn't say what one of the best lines in the entire movie was, and it was when she comes out of the bath, like her hands come out, and obviously we come up and we do that creepy smile. We get that just, like just thinking about it is just like, fuck. And then Danny, he goes, mom, and like we get the mommies with the maggots now line, and man,
Amazing.
what a, huh?
What?
Why would you do that? I absolutely love that line. That's probably my favorite line from the whole movie. I know she says something about titty sucking something.
Oh my god, that's my favorite line.
What is the line she said? Like
she's like, I'm finally free of you titty sucking parasites.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it was.
It's
Yes,
like,
that was really good too. But mommy's with the maggots now, and it's just the way she says it, and it's almost like apologetic because she like lifts up an eyebrow and like tilts her head a little bit, and she says it. She's like, "Sorry about it," but that's my favorite line. That part's so good.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I will say that the titty sucking line is about as equivalent to the one in 2013 where it's like, come on down here, let me suck your dick, pretty boy. Or whatever.
No, I suck your
like, that's about as that's pretty much like equivalent, like together with the Deadite lines for that. So, yeah, there's and they just happen out of nowhere too. And that's what I've noticed. Every single time, it's like it just is said, and you're just like, "What the fuck?"
She's just a dick. Like
what
the
did
rest
she
of the
just
movie.
say?
Like
it was like, what did he say?
Yeah.
And they do say cunt, right? I think it gets said in the movie, like later towards like the end. I want to say, and I was just like,
does it?
I'm pretty sure. I know it does in 2013.
I think so.
Because we talked about it. But I think it did say it because I was like, they did it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. But I did like all the vulgar stuff.
I know.
It's always
I hope more Evil Dead movies double down on it. Like, I want to keep hearing stuff like that. Especially, we'll talk about it at the end, but like, she has those last few lines. that shit was cracking me up too, because she's being such a dick.
She's just so rude about it.
Literally. And they're such assholes too. Like they are, because it's like they'll be in that moment, they'll be saying all this shit, and then they'll fucking turn into the person that they took over just like one last time, just to try and see if they can get them to, succumb to getting yanked in there with them. Like, no, bitch, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. You're done. That's it.
Yeah. And like, because they are these demons, they do know like personal things about you, and they will take that and use it against you, just like you see in every like Exorcist movie as well. So, like she's pregnant and she's sitting there saying all these so like mean things, and it's just like, oh my god, she can't catch a break, can she?
She like starts sniffing her belly, and I'm like, oh god. That quite creeped me out.
She like tries to dig her fingers into it too.
Yeah.
Which comes kind of back later. A little foreshadowing. I didn't even think about that till just now.
I need to ask about that, but we'll talk about that later, I'm sure.
No, yeah, so we haven't talked much about the kids yet, right? Like we mostly just talked about Ellie. So Bridget is the first one to get possessed outside of Ellie. She's the first family member. And I'm not going to lie, her scene was pretty damn unsettling. Like with just all the fucking blood that starts pouring from her fucking nose, from her then it starts coming out of her eyes and everything like that too. Like I was just like, holy fuck, man. Like now the blood, it was dark,
Well,
like
it's
it was
black.
like,
I don't even think it's blood. It's just like black shit coming out of her.
Yeah, bile, tar.
Yeah,
it reminds me of like 2013, because like I feel like there's like a lot of like black tar stuff used in 2013. So that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, it just like starts pouring out of her. Well, she gets cut with that tattoo gun, but then you see it like spreading slowly, like black, and so something's coming, and then it just like pours out of her nose and then her eyes, and then
they really have a variety of like puke coming out of people's mouths in this movie. Like, because you got the black, you got the mom doing the Team America throw up scene. And then I think, like, do you not know what I'm talking about? Oh, man. Do you know what I'm talking about, Braden?
In Team America?
When he starts puking
and
it goes on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's fucking gross. That's what it is. So.
I'll stay clear of whatever that is then.
Oh, no, please watch it. Anyways, it's a 4th of July staple in my house. But yeah, I just like the variety of puke that they have in this movie. It's really funny.
That's such a line coming from you, Missile. Yeah, I just really like the puke that they got.
There's the variety, man. You know, they don't keep it one. You know, they have fun with it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're gonna do something numerous times in the movie,
yeah, exactly,
same, right? So
get those different hues in there. We can keep going. That's
really gross. No, actually,
this is my last time on this podcast.
I know. I'm gonna get a text from Destiny after, and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, Misael, cut off, not coming
never
back."
Again."
Never. She's gonna say, "You need to make it your idea."
Yep. No, Des, were you gonna say something? After he was talking about the puking or whatnot.
Oh well, that's when we get the glass scene. Beth walks in, you can hear her crunching on something, and we know she's just fucking eating glass over there. And then we get to it, and then we get that good close up of the glass in her throat peeking out of it. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
We got Chad in the house saying that you'd be a great possessed in an Evil Dead movie. Imagine if you were Sally. Yeah, imagine, right? That's hysterical.
What would be your go-to, like, vile jab? Like, if us three were trapped with you being possessed, like, what would be, like, the first thing that comes out of your mouth?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God. That's a lot to put on me right now.
That is quite a damn... Missile, have you thought about this? I'm curious to hear what yours would be.
I would have to think about it, too. It wouldn't even be, like, anything personal. It would just be, like...
It would just be, like, you know...
vulgar, terrible shit.
It would just be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just saying you got to say right now.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you.
I have no idea. Yeah. You know what, Missile? I'll think about this. And so last week I sent Misael something dead ass inappropriate while he was at work, and he was like, "Jesus Christ, you just can't be texting."
Dude, it was 6 a.m. when you sent me that.
Bro, I saw it, and then I was just like, "Oh shit!" You know what? I'm gonna text him this and see what he has to say. And so I'll probably end up doing it with this too. I'll tomorrow. I'll just be thinking about it. You're gonna get a text from me and be like, "This would be my line." You'll be like, "Jesus Christ, dude!"
It was way too early for it.
Yeah. But yeah. So the kids start to get possessed, and it's like each one of them. I will say, Bridget definitely got it the worst. And then there are some very intense moments with Cassie, who is honestly, the young actress that plays her is phenomenal. I totally bought into her character. I was totally thinking that at one point when the other two started to die, I really at one point thought that she was going to actually, like, that they were going to take that risk and be like, you know what, fuck it. Cassie's going to turn into a dead.
I'm concerned for her. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, she gets put through the ringer in this movie.
She really does. Like, I mean, like, it's crazy how much emotion this young actress has to bring.
Yeah.
And she does it wonderfully. Like, I actually wanted to see more of her in the movie than we actually got. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I thought that she was really, really good. I really think that all the performances in this movie were all very strong. I think that I cared immensely for pretty much this entire family. They have gone through some shit. Obviously, Beth and Ellie had a rocky relationship with their mom, which we do hear a lot of through some dialogue, especially towards the end, which we will get to. But, you know, like, and Beth she finds out she's pregnant, and Did we find out in the movie about who she's pregnant from, or was that just kind of just a thing?
No.
Did you not talk about it?
It almost like didn't matter.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So my guess is I feel like that would have probably have come up during a conversation with Ellie or with somebody at that point, because she does tell Ellie that she's pregnant, right?
No, she never finds out.
Really?
Not until she's the Deadite, and that's when
Yeah.
she's on her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because she never gets to tell her because the fucking earthquake happened. And then the only one that actually knows is the little girl, because she's the one that's like, "You're pregnant, aren't you?" Basically. And she's like, "Yeah." But no, Ellie doesn't ever get to find out.
Well, when she does take the test in the beginning, she almost looks like it's something that she doesn't necessarily want. Like, she's just kind of like looking at it in distraught, pretty much. Like, she can't believe it. So I think we can piece together there that it's somebody that, you know, is no longer involved in her life. Mm-hmm. So, you know, yeah, I think that kind of covers that. And then, yeah, I just think that the emotional stuff that we get with the family, it all works pretty damn well, if you ask me.
I agree. And also, like, what I really like about the little girl's character is that she is, like, I would say utilized, like, when it comes to, like, the action stuff, because she is the one, she uses her, what does she call it? Her Staphne or something?
Staphne, right?
Yeah, Staphne. She uses her doll's head on a stick, but that's what impales Bridget, and that's what gets her down for at least a little bit, and then she gets tied up and stuff, and she comes back later. But still, like, the little girl's the one that had to do that, and that's her sister, and she just like stuck this thing through her face. And then even towards the end, she gets a little bit to do as well. So I do like that they like utilized her. She wasn't always just like in trouble needing help. She does do stuff, and I really like that, because it's like I wouldn't expect to see a little girl have to do this, but they went for it in that regard, which I'm glad. I didn't think she was going to be turned into a Deadite. I didn't think they would go there.
No.
So I never felt like truly too worried about her when it comes to that. But I do like that they, you know, utilize her character, not just have her like always just be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm torn between, yes, that, like, I'm glad she was utilized and did a lot of stuff, but at the same time, like, oh my God, I'm like, why is she in the elevator with all the blood? Like, please, like, this isn't okay. And then she gets like tossed out of it too, and I'm like, oh my God, this poor girl.
I know, the fucking elevator scene. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure she had a blast, but I was like, it hurt me.
Mike, I will say, yeah, I agree. Lily Sullivan's eyes are definitely gorgeous, dark and mysterious. Looks like we're seeing some people in the chat here agreeing with a lot of the things that you know, they saw or we saw. Mike, I've seen that you've agreed with a couple of things. Misael, earlier he was saying that he agreed with your comment on the sound design, as well as my comment on the color and the cinematography and stuff like that. So good stuff here all around. Yeah, definitely going to be one of the better horror movies of the year, I think. I mean, as of right now, I know there hasn't been a whole lot that's come out this year. Like, I mean, I shouldn't even say that anymore. Like, there's actually been a lot to come out this year in terms of like movies. Like, we're almost at the halfway point of the year. We are getting so close to that halfway of the year. I know it's,
oh my God,
it's fucking gross.
So gross.
Like, I mean, we're just over a month away from June, and that's the midway point through the year. So
Comic 4 was a month ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, like that's, dude, like fucking Scream 6 is already on fucking Paramount. It's already on streaming. Like, I feel like I just saw that in theaters like 2 weeks ago. Like,
right?
So, yeah, it's the fact that like that we're already past evildeadrise. I mean, Misael and I were talking about how Guardians 3 is literally already next week, which is insane. So I definitely think that this is going to be one of the best horror movies of the year. It'll definitely be in my top 5, I think. So that's good. From what I've seen, I think that this has potential to make it in my top 5. I'm going to say that right now. But that's just my feeling towards it. Mostly because I was pretty surprised by it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Scream 6 is definitely my number 1 still.
I don't know. I feel like I have to rewatch it.
Well, now you can. Wait, which movie?
Well, I just rewatched Scream 6, but this one. Just because I do feel a little underwhelmed, but that might have just been because there was so much hype around this movie. So like
Yeah.
I try not to let that get to me. But
It's hard sometimes,
yeah. I mean, this was
I saw
this was
so
my
many
most
tweets.
exactly. Like this was my most anticipated horror movie of the year. So like I was really looking forward to this. But I just, man, I wish I didn't see any trailers for it. I really did wish I didn't see anything about it. And then just went in blind. I feel like if I did, I would have loved it a lot more. But I still really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than Scream 6. I'm not sure. So it's too early to say.
Yeah. I mean,
what happened?
No,
That was
nothing.
got way too quiet there.
No, I think that this movie, it was a surprise for me because I didn't pay much attention to really the trailers or the marketing or anything like that. Like I had known the bathroom scene was probably going to be iconic, and I really do think that whole thing, and the mommies with the maggots now line is going to definitely, be burned into this franchise forever.
I need a haunted house of it. This movie.
Right?
Go hard.
Hey, Horror Nights, you're up, baby.
Dude, if it happens, oh my god.
I mean, one of the rumored houses this year is supposed to be an Evil Dead house, but I think it's supposed to be a 2013 Evil Dead house. So, still kind of cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, still really cool. They've got plenty of time to do like Rise and all that stuff, like in the future if they wanted to. But I think that this was a surprise for me. But let's start kind of bringing this thing around to Act 3,
The Last
where
of Us.
What's that?
The Last of Us monster.
Oh yeah, dude. I can't even lie. Like when the fucking there's a transformation that occurs in this movie, people. A transformation that we have not seen in an Evil Dead movie thus far. And what, like, the book opened and it was like flipping and stuff, and then it landed on that page. I looked, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is coming? And then we see that thing at the end, but before we see that thing, we get this very, very well done clear Shining reference, which I appreciated.
Oh, man.
The elevator scene, which was very tense. It was it like, you just, while you knew that these characters were going to get out, you felt like they were about to meet their ends, like with the blood as it kept filling up and everything. So they definitely used a good amount of blood for this scene. And when the elevator opens and they, get thrown out of the elevator, and it's just a clear Shining reference. I loved it. I was a huge fan of that. So
I was too, but there was a clip that the evildeadrise Twitter posted, and I'm so glad I didn't look at it, but I saw the quote tweet of people saying, if you're seeing this movie, like, do not watch this because it shows that scene of them in the elevator with the elevator opening, the blood pouring out. Because then I went back after I'd seen it and saw that, because I had seen someone mention something about The Shining, and then I saw that tweet saying, don't watch this. But I still didn't know exactly what it was. But as soon as it happened on screen, I was like, oh, this is exactly what they're talking about. So I'm glad I didn't see that, because that was a fun little surprise coming. Because it was like, obviously, The Shining, and also like it, chapter 2, when they had the bathroom filling up with blood, like the stall. And so this is like the same thing. Oh, and then we get to see, what's our light bulb kind of filling up with blood. You have like the numbers of the elevator, and it's slowly filling up with blood. That's another good callback to the other movie. So I did like that scene though. And just like when you think, it's rising and it's like, oh, like obviously go up, because there's that part in the elevator you always see people use. No, you can't go up because they're up there too. So then when it finally just releases, it's so cool.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, agreed. And then the whole finale takes place in the parking garage, and I mean, for a split second, I was like, yeah, the whole movie takes place in the apartment complex and everything. And I'm just kind of like, okay, we must be leading into the finale here. The finale is definitely a little short. I will also say that that's probably another criticism I have on it. It's like they kind of get in there and it just feels like, in terms of like cut, I feel like it's like 8 minutes long. It just feels, I mean, if it's longer, then it feels like 8 minutes. Like that's all I'll say. Just with everything that kind of plays out in the parking garage, and like she's just really. We get the chainsaw, which is definitely an icon to the Evil Dead movies.
Well, before that, when the girl gets taken and she starts running for her, and you get that like awesome like camera shot where like that was my like one of my favorite moments when like you start seeing that and she's just drenched in blood. I was like, yeah. All right,
oh yeah, no, definitely. Like, because I was also too at first like, how are they going to be? Because you've seen the still images and everything, and you see Beth completely covered in blood, and you're like, fuck, how the fuck is she going to get that covered in blood, right? And I do like how they did keep that, like how they keep the main characters blood soaked, like throughout these movies. That's one thing I do very much appreciate about them. So yeah, but there's where I thought, like, I was like, oh shit, now the little girl is going to fucking die, because she's outside of the garage. Like, she's able to make it. Ellie's or Cassie is not able to make it, and like then she gets literally dragged across the fucking pavement into that truck, and I thought that was where she was going to meet her end. I thought that she was going to die right in front of Beth, and then Beth was going to have to fucking kill this thing to, for Cassie. So that's where I thought Cassie was going to die. Didn't happen, but we still got a pretty epic, mini epic finale, I'd say, of of this thing, because really right after that, I mean, it's not much more. There's not really much more that goes down. Like the fucking grinder gets turned on, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I would say so. Yeah, it happens pretty fast. But we get to see the chainsaw go through this thing, That's pretty cool. Reminds me a lot of 2013. Ashton saying right here, when Beth is covered in blood. Yeah, it looked like at the end. But then, like, you get the whole part with the chainsaw and stuff. It's cool. And I do like the wood chipper. Again, you have Cassie. She, like, helps turn it on. And that's how she's able to, like, be utilized towards the end, is to be able to turn it on. Which is still, like, it's cool that she's able to do that. And then it gets pushed in. And then all we're left is with the head still talking shit before it goes down.
Like, she goes on a rant before
she has, like, a full, like, monologue, a final monologue. Just talking shit.
I love that.
Her.
Literally just talking all the shit. You drop something. No, yeah, just talking literally so much damn shit just about everything. And then I love how you get to see the head just get tossed into, just grinded.
Even when the head's rolling, you hear like one last fucking, and then like it's like I love that so much.
I was gonna say, that's two things we've seen get grinded up. Last year we saw Michael Myers get grinded up in one of those things.
Oh,
so,
true.
Horror movies are starting to use these grinders, so start to expect to see more of this stuff in horror. Even though I will say,
it's just about to go crazy.
Right? Oh God, that movie. I'm not. If that movie makes it in my top horror list of the year, I swear to God, I will be absolutely 5,000% shocked. So
terrified for it.
Yeah, absolutely terrified. But yeah, am I missing anything, guys? Am I missing anything like major that we didn't discuss from Evil Dead Rise?
Well, then we get our wraparound.
Yes,
we do. So they leave, everything's fine. Then we follow with this new girl. She's down in the parking garage, and then she's like FaceTiming her friend, and we realize it's the girl from the opening because we see her friend, and her friend's like, oh, I don't really want to go tonight, and her friend's like, no, you're going. And then we get like the classic sort of shot flying at her, different angles, blah blah blah, and then we get the scream, and then we know what happens next from the beginning. But
just really
I like
funny
the wraparound.
because you think about like a deadite possessed this girl and then drove all the way to
She's just,
this cabin. Yeah.
how did she not wreck?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's true. We do get honestly, which I completely forgot about honestly for a hot second.
I know. It's just
when I saw her,
it just happens.
yeah, when I saw her, I was like, did she hear nothing that's been going on in this entire fucking building right now? Like, I saw her and I was like, she's just like walking into the fucking parking garage like nothing just happened. And then I swear to God, if she would have gotten in that car and drove away without noticing that truck of blood, I would have fucking been incredibly pissed off. I'd have been like, there's no way you don't notice that right now. It's fucking there.
Yeah,
there's so much blood in that vicinity. So I'm glad that she did. And then I was like, oh, okay, that all makes sense. That but again, I feel like that was just kind of like there just because like they needed to do a wraparound. Like I mean,
I feel like it's gotta be again for something in the future, but it does feel really kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This almost kind of seems like something, and I don't know if this was actually in Lee's head when he was writing it, but like the opening obviously like is tying into not really. It ties into the end, and in the beginning we get the one day earlier. So maybe I'm trying to think about like what he was doing when he was writing. And I'm just failing miserably. So, like that's basically it. I'm not the writer, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. that's it.
Better than me, buddy.
But all right, closing thoughts, everybody, on Evil Dead Rise. What do we think after chatting about it a little bit? Des, do you like it a little bit more after chatting about it, or do you like it a little bit less after chatting about it?
I feel about the same. I still very much enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch it again. Maybe I did let the hype get a little bit, to me, but I just saw so many tweets and I was just like, oh man, it's going to be so wild. And it wasn't. But, again, what isn't wild to us obviously is wild to other people. This just did not push the boundaries that it could have. But I'm still excited to watch it again. So I still give it the same, a 4 out of 5. And I'm leaning towards a 4 just because it was such a fun experience to see it in the theaters, with some people. And, like, you had people, like, reacting and, like, gasping and, like, wincing at certain scenes. So that part definitely, I think, added towards it. So whenever it gets added to streaming, I'm definitely going to watch it, like, as soon as I can to see if I change the way I feel now that the hype's kind of died down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Misael?
Honestly, pretty much the same. It feels like it holds back both in terms of like the gore and the over the topness and also the humor. Like I know we get some good bits, but like after the eye thing, I feel like it stops doing stuff for a while. So I don't know. It feels like it's just held back just a little bit, and I don't know maybe if that's like from Cronin or maybe studio heads that want to push the marketing and like have more people show up for it. Maybe that's why it was a little more on the creepiness factor. But again, that creepiness factor, that differentiates it from like the rest of the franchise. All the rest of the franchise, aside from Army of Darkness, where it's just a batshit fun time. Like the other ones are like just all about their ridiculousness. Do you not like Army of Darkness, Destiny? No? Oh man.
No.
I had so much fun with that movie. But
I tried.
So do I. That's what I'm saying. I have a great time with it.
I had such a good time with it. It's so ridiculous. But it's just so fun. But yeah, it was a lot creepier than I expected, which I really appreciated. I think that's what really got it over the board for me. That's why I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. But it's solid. It's 100% gonna be on my playlist this year in October. So yeah, I'm excited to watch it again, especially because I don't think I picked up on all the nods and references as other people did.
Yeah, no, I just recently got like I picked up on most of the Evil Dead references and Evil Dead 2 references for sure. And a couple like there's a few of them where I'm like, okay, like this has some Evil Dead 2013 vibes. I do need to I just got the Army of Darkness Screwhead Edition Blu-ray, so I'm definitely going to be rewatching that here before I jump on this weekend and do a live doing my ranking, talking about it. I have
Nice.
posted my ranking online, so for those of you that care, you guys can find it on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. I have shared that. Army of Darkness is in last place, even though it is a fun movie. It's just like it's a great time if like you look at it as its own thing. But yeah, in terms of like the all the other movies, I just like them more for Evil Dead films than Army of Darkness. But yeah, I thought that this movie, I still think it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Really, the thing that docks it for me is the opening leading to the title card. While yes, it's got some pretty cool violent stuff in it, it doesn't really add to the main narrative. The main narrative of the movie, I'm a huge fan of. I think it's different. I like that for the most part, you're in this apartment for a good portion of the movie. The hallway like is about where it expands. That's about as far as it expands. But yeah, you're in this 2 or 3 bedroom apartment and it's fucking just batshit, really. Like I love movies that are able to use one location for the duration of a film because it forces a filmmaker to have to get creative with shots and everything. And there are quite a few good ones.
A lot of rec vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then I know a shot that we didn't talk about that I need to bring up is when fucking Ellie comes out of the ceiling and like you see fucking absolutely terrifying just like seeing that. Like it's
and then the daughter in the bag coming from behind.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it too.
That was when I texted you, like saying, "Dude, this is insane."
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the only one in the theater, so it's like you could text if you want.
I needed somebody to talk to.
But no, honestly, this movie is definitely a lot of fun for me. It's got some good unsettling moments. It's got some good lighthearted moments. It's got a good blend of classic Evil Dead and even the newer Evil Dead that we saw in 2013. So, yeah, I think that this movie, if you're a fan of this franchise, there's really no reason that you shouldn't have at least a good time with this film, if you ask me. I will agree with you guys, though. Gore, yeah, could have been a lot more gory and a lot more intense. Destiny, I know that you said that 2013 made you throw up. Sorry that this one didn't accomplish that for you.
Hopefully
soon. And I will say I'm so thankful that this movie did not just go to streaming. So it was initially supposed to be a direct to HBO release, and I'm glad that it got the theatrical release. So
it should have came out in October or September, I feel like still.
That would be cool, just and instead this year we got The Exorcist Believer coming out. That's what we got coming out in October. So for those of you guys that don't know, The Exorcist Believer is the official title of the new Exorcist movie that's up and coming. So yeah. And obviously Hollywood's already hyping it up. They're saying new terrifying footage was just shown at some. I'm like, okay, buddy, we'll see. All right. Let's take a big step back and literally fuck your
man, I don't know. Everything about it has me hesitant, but David Gordon Green, I trust in him, so we'll see.
Des Misael is one of those big supporters of Halloween Ends, so
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, likes it a lot. Destiny not so much. Doesn't.
Get it. Totally get it. But it worked for me.
I'm glad it worked for you.
Are you happy for me?
I am. I'm glad people liked it.
We'll see. You want to know the movie that actually of the three, the one that continues to grow on me every time I see it, oddly enough, is Kills. I hated Kills when I saw it initially, besides the Michael Myers stuff, but I'm more of a Kills fan now after
that's my second favorite, of all of them.
Yeah. More of a Kills fan now after Halloween Ends. I'd rather see Michael Myers fucking butchering some people in Kills than what we got in Ends. So,
all either of those movies did, they just made me love 2018 even more.
Oh, I love 2018. That's my favorite one in the trilogy. So,
well, I loved it, but then I still have it low in my franchise ranking. But then Kills came out, and I was pissed leaving the theater. And then Ends came out. It was just I don't know, disappointed but not surprised. I just remember when we did our live stream, and it kind of hit me what this movie was gonna be, because I was watching Drum Dums and Wham and all of them when they did their big stream together. Everyone's talking about Corey, and I literally was in the comments. I said, "Who the fuck is Corey? Who is Corey? What are y'all talking about?" And then everyone was like, "Oh, this is Corey, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they're like, "Oh, it's going to be like Christine." And I remember us doing our live stream. I
love that so much.
Oh my God. I know
love
what they
the Christine
mean now.
stuff.
And I was like, no. And then it's exactly what it was. And I was like,
it's
no.
So
good. Started. I was like,
Christine.
Stop.
Dude.
I love Christine. When I'm watching Christine, not when I'm watching Halloween Ends. The end of the fucking thing.
I literally remember when I was getting ready to go see Halloween Ends, Destiny had gotten out of the theater, and I was on my way to the theater. She was like, "Did you see it yet?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Good or bad?" And she's like, "LOL, bad." That's all she fucking said, because I told her not to say anything other than an initial reaction, and that's all she fucking said. And I was like, "Fucking hell."
You know what happened? When the whole romance thing between what's his name? Oh, Corey, is that his name?
Corey.
And what's her name?
Allison.
Sam, because I watched it with Sam. And Sam leans to me and she goes, "Twilight."
No, I think that I mean there are bits and pieces of Ends that I like that I can get behind. Like, I didn't have the worst time in a movie theater ever watching it, but I mean, I was just what?
We didn't even do a live stream last week, but I watched The Pope's Exorcist in theaters.
Oh,
nice. Wow.
This was absolutely fucking terrible. It was lovely. I literally got up, and I've never done this in the theater. If I'm at the theater, I am there sitting, sticking through. I got up and I walked around outside. I had nothing to do. I didn't have to pee. I could if I needed to, but I literally went outside, turned on my phone, looked at my phone, waited a few minutes, and went back in. If I was there by myself, I would have left, but I was with my aunt. My aunt went to go see it, so I went and saw with her. But it was so bad. That's like the worst. Not even not worst movie experience, but just worst movie I've ever seen at the theater.
Did not look good.
I knew it wasn't gonna be. I knew it wasn't. She wanted to go, and I was like, "I'll go see it with you, sure." Then during it, I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!"
You should have walked into John Wick 4, right next door.
I should have. Y'all go watch this. I'll be over there.
Yeah, exactly. How much time do we got? Can we talk about John Wick 4 again, Braden? Or just the end of it?
No, she hasn't seen it yet.
Fuck. Okay.
I'm still on 2.
I'm just kidding.
She's on numero 2.
I've talked about that movie way too much already. Anyways.
Dude, as soon as I buy it on 4K, I'm gonna have it. It's gonna be just on. And really, the last fucking 45 minutes are just.
I might go see it again.
It's gonna be on repeat. Oh, it's gonna be back in IMAX this weekend. Did you see that?
Oh my god! Yeah. All right, I know what I'm doing this weekend.
It's gonna be back in IMAX. So, dude, got to do a double feature because Return of the Jedi is in theaters this weekend too. I want to see that in theaters so badly.
I do too. Alamo's showing it. That shit sold out in minutes.
But also, Jedi Survivor comes out on Friday, so I kind of gotta sit my ass down, and I know what I'm doing Friday night. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. So, right, Destiny?
Yeah.
Right. What? I'm watching The Last Drive-In. I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing.
I need to watch those. I
Yes,
every
you
time
do.
every time I'm always like doing something and I'm like, I really want to tune in. It looks so fun. Like
It
that
is
looks like my
literally
shit.
the highlight. Whenever it starts, the highlight of my week.
I know.
Just
Yeah.
at work, I'm like, at least I have The Last Drive-In on Friday. Because, like, everyone gets together. Everyone has their food and their drinks and whatever, and everyone's tweeting along and posting pictures and everything. It's literally it's the best
It
time.
looks
It's so
great. When does it usually start?
it starts at 8:00 our time.
Fuck. Okay.
6 p.m. my time, baby.
Yeah, that's gross.
And it goes into like 2 a.m.
Oh,
Which
does it
means-
really? Okay. I can watch some of it then. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Usually they'll start the second movie about halfway through. So, like, I would say around like 11 to midnight is when like usually the second movie starts showing. So,
Oh, sweet. Okay, maybe I can catch a little bit.
there we
I'm
go.
stuck in the
Perfect.
city till 11. I'm working, but yeah.
Even if you catch the end, it's a lot of fun. You should do it.
I really want to watch them.
Yeah.
So Evil Dead Rise was good.
Evil Dead, yeah, we kind of got on a little bit of a tangent right there, but yes, Evil Dead Rise is solid. We all kind of went around and gave our ranking. Chat, thank you guys so much for being a whole lot of fun here tonight. Destiny, what do you have up and coming here for the remainder of really April and leading into May?
Friday before The Last Drive-In, I will be on Chris Snyder's channel and we'll be doing a watch along for Scooby-Doo, the first one. So
Oh man,
I'm really excited about that. Love Scooby-Doo. But that's it for the rest of the week.
Braden,
Heck yeah. Misael, what you got up and coming, buddy?
what do I? Just that Star Wars game comes out Friday.
There we go.
Very, very nice. Any Twitch streams coming up or?
I don't know. I have no time. I don't know. I'll just probably invite myself onto another one of your guys' streams at some point.
Hey, you know what? You're welcome back anytime, man. Anytime you wanna.
All I ask is you guys do an honorary shot when the Denzel Curry beat drops in Scream 6.
You got it.
If you could do Malort, it'd be great. But I understand if you can't.
No, dude, I'm gonna use that jalapeno moonshine that your fucking fiance has. Fucking ridiculous. Never again. Like,
Hey man, you'll never forget it though.
I never will. You're right.
Yeah.
I had to take that shot by their back door just in case I freaking ended up puking right then and there. So
It's true, he did.
yeah. But that night I also caught. Hey, how many drinks were you guys ahead for that whole night?
Dude.
They were
Maybe
like 10 drinks ahead of me, and I caught up. I was even with them. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, he caught up, and I had no idea because I was done.
Gail was just on the board, like, so all the names were on the board. You put your name, how many drinks you're drinking. I don't know why we did it. I don't know what.
I don't know. It's a tradition now.
I don't know what you get for being the champ, but
You get a scarf.
all I know is they said that it's a competition and I'm competitive, and I was like, bitch, bring it. Like, so yeah, caught up, was in the bathroom at home literally the entire night. So I woke up the next morning. I was like, why did I do that? So
I think everybody was like that.
yeah. But yeah, and then for me, this upcoming weekend, right now it's on Friday. If I decide to tune into The Last Drive-In or something like that, or just play Jedi Survivor, I will bump this stream to Saturday night. But this weekend sometime we will be doing a Evil Dead franchise ranking and just really just a hangout. Come on by, ask some questions. And then over the course of the next couple weeks, I'm going to do my first ever tier list stream where we do a ranking for all of the Scream movies and all of the Halloween movies on a tier list. We're going to place them and see where they would rank on that. So that's definitely going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that as well. And then also have
you should make Resurrection just a tier, like that's the tier list, like that's the
Resurrection.
Yeah,
I think that I've created the list already. That's a really good one. Maybe I'll replace it, but the very bottom one is Sucks Brick Kid. I came up with that from, from Home Alone 2 when he's like, "Suck brick, kid," throws down. So
I love it. A Home Alone reference enough.
Yeah, right. Home Alone reference as we are entering summer.
Yeah. Gale will love you.
So yeah, that's what I've got up and coming. So again, chat, thank you guys so much for being awesome. Look forward to more videos very soon. And Misael, thank you too for
Thank you guys for having me.
An outstanding co-host or guest. Outstanding guest. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week on Fear Freaks podcast. Have a great rest of your night.